They did a film of my life. It was Brad Pitt they used as well, but I didn't think anyone would believe that. Why am I here tonight? Well, I've come more with my colleagues Kris and Mirna Juarez to listen to what you have to say. The fact is that 30% of us, before we die, will have some element of dementia. Some people will be a bit forgetful, other people will forget everything. So you've got that spectrum between them, and it can affect every single family. I was just saying before, my mother-in-law hasn't got a clue where she is. My wife rings her every day, and sometimes she's in a ship's cabin, sometimes she's counting the money for a job that she hasn't done for 25 years, and sometimes she hasn't got a clue who my wife is, and other days she has. My brother-in-law was a copper for 36 years in Chester. My sister lost him recently because he now can't go out by himself. And that's why this isn't and shouldn't be a political matter. When this was built with its colleague, I congratulated Joe Anderson for doing this, because I think this is exactly the type of facility that I want to end up in and my family should. And I went around the country, in fact, because nationally I deal with health and social care at our national body, the Local Government Association, and I said, look what Liverpool is doing. It doesn't matter that it's a different party than mine. Look what Liverpool is doing. It's something we can really be proud of. So what we need to be asking is what's gone wrong since then? Because what we do know nationally is that for the next year there are going to be problems for residential care providers everywhere, for two reasons. Frankly, some people have died earlier than they were anticipated. That's just a regrettable fact. And some families are now saying, because they've seen the headlines, that places like this are dangerous, they're not sending their families to it. Now, we know that that's not right, but this is a perception that we have to deal with. Yes, of course.
Firstly, there's a queue to go in here, an absolute queue of people. So if it is nationally that there are people saying they don't want to go in care homes, I cannot believe that, because I'm telling you, I fought for my mother to go in there. I fought in November last year when this had 60 beds available, and they wouldn't let her in then. So don't tell me. Honestly, I cannot accept that from anybody, because we've got people queuing up here and in Brushwood, ready to go. Absolutely 100%. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to counteract that.
No, that's fine. And that's, you see, the sort of information that I came here to find out tonight. Because when this first erupted, what was it, 6 weeks ago, something like that, the first thing that I did was to ask for a meeting of two committees to get a proper report on how this was happening. The first is the Health and Care Select Committee, which is a council committee, and the second is the Health and Wellbeing Board, where the health service and the council, who are responsible for adult social care, come together. Because I believe we need to get all the information out. And I just don't have the information that I, as a councillor, should be able to take judgments on, to decide things in the council chamber, and I can't come and intelligently talk to you. I regret that a lot of people say this is the usual case. I don't know what I'm talking about, because I cannot get the basic information about how this has happened and why it's happened.
I'm going to give you a piece of information and you answer these people. We have a contract that was signed by Shaw Healthcare, a 25-year lease, okay? They walk away in 9 months. Now, they walk away, but they're actually negotiating in January this year to say they couldn't sustain this, right? They've walked away with no penalties. So who makes decisions like that? Because they can't do it in any other city. That's not happening. They're being fined. They were fined £100,000 for the same thing in Northamptonshire. Yep. So you tell me why we are in this city, and we're all clever, I believe, here. Why are we signing contracts off like that? And if you didn't know that, then you do know now.
Yeah. No, I did know about the contract, and I saw it at the time. What makes Liverpool different than any other city, and this has to be necessarily a little bit political, I'm afraid, is we do have a mayoral system. So in Liverpool, all the power resides in just one pair of hands, effectively, which it makes it very difficult for people like me to get in and ask questions. So let's just suppose you said, Cllr Kemp, go to the council chamber, move a motion to keep this place open, and I got it through. Under the mayoral system, it wouldn't make any difference because the council doesn't make those decisions.
So who makes that decision then?
It's made by the mayor and the
So is
cabinet.
that Joe Anderson?
Joe Anderson and the council, and that's just the mayoral system.
No. You cannot boo a man that built these facilities. Yeah. Do not boo him. I would not want you to do that. What I want you to do is first applaud him for building them, and then you can boo him. Okay? Because that's what you should be doing, is thanking him and then boo. So a big cheer for Joe Anderson. And a big boo for Joe Anderson. That's fine.